Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. Today we have with us Esther. Esther, introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, my name is Esther Okolola. I'm from Esther O Educator. I teach engaging online K through 2 academic classes and support parents and students in the homeschooling process.
Oh, nice. Okay. Homeschooling process support. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. How did we get here? Why?
Yep. So I taught pre-K for 2 years, and I've been teaching first grade for the past 4 years. And 3 of those years have mostly been on out school. Mhm.
Okay, nice. So education is just always that's been your background. That's what you were like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna change this world by educating these youth.
Yeah,
That
I've always wanted to. So I wanted to be a teacher when I was in first grade. That is the
oh,
funny thing. I have my book from first grade that I wrote in there. I want to be a teacher. I want to go to Disneyland.
oh,
All the things, like the car I
you just
want,
can't
like
afford Disneyland, girl.
everything. Yes, everything. And so, I mean, growing up, I taught like Sunday school classes at church. I babysat for an aunt, volunteered at the Brookdale Library at the my local library. And of course, in college, I did a teaching practicum abroad. Like it's just always been in me
You went
to,
abroad.
yes, yeah, to teach.
Where you
So
go? Where you
France.
go?
Mhm.
Oh, nice. How was that?
It was fun. It was a great experience. I lived with a host family. They treated me like their daughter. I made a friend there as well, and I still try to keep in touch with her. She was in the education program as well, but she was a French student, and that it was a really great experience.
That is so awesome. I've never heard anyone doing their practicum abroad. Like that is so dope. They didn't tell me that option. They didn't give me that option. I don't recall that.
Yeah, I know it was
That's-
really a special like treat, honestly, that the U of M offered that. So
yeah.
in this school.
So
Hmm.
you like the babies. You are a little angel. You know, I call y'all little fallen angels because ain't no way. Ain't no way that I have those type of patients. But pre-K, first grade, elementary, that is your forte. Any subject you teach in all of them?
So yep, I teach all core subjects: phonics, reading, writing, science, and social studies. All core subjects for K through.
Nice. Nice. So how did you find your way onto out school?
Yes, you know what? I was really looking, so I had already started thinking about homeschooling and just kind of looking into it. Just like thinking about the future. I'm like, I think homeschooling sounds like a good idea when I was teaching first grade in the classroom. And then I was like, okay, I want to pay off debt, student loans. Like, what else can I do? I knew I could tutor, but I was like, I want something a little more. And just in that search is when I found Outschool. And so I signed up. I found out about another Outschool teacher who was offering coaching. And so I
Mhm.
signed up for some coaching with her, and that helped me really start my journey on Outschool. And it's been a learning process, but it's been a very good experience. So
Nice. Yeah, out school is so dope to me because like anything you could think of for a child to learn or interest that they would have,
mhm.
it's available on out school. Somebody's teaching it. And I love that.
Absolutely, gaming, Disney classes, cooking, there are academic classes, like everything you can think of.
Yes, yes. Please run to Out School and check out those classes that are available. It could fit your schedule. Y'all are open. I love that. So you're working with the babies, and this is virtual.
Yes.
How is that? These little ones are sitting in front of these laptops. How is that?
Yes. So teaching in class, in the classroom, teaching online are similar in some ways. Like the most important thing, or one of the most important things in teaching as a whole, is classroom management. So
Yes.
you have to have really strong classroom management, and that's by making sure students know the expectations, that we're practicing the expectations, communicating with parents if needed to help support students in following the expectations in the class. And so we always go over our rules and procedures, routines and procedures. We practice them. Why do we sit like this in class? Why do we keep the distractions away so we're able to focus? So we go through those routines and procedures regularly at the start of class. And so over time, students adjust and they start to understand, oh, okay, like this is how I need to um, kind of conduct myself in class so that I can learn. And then, of course, I communicate with parents if I need to as well.
Of course. Are these one-on-one sessions or are you holding group sessions?
Group. I
Okay.
have done some tutoring, but I mostly have group classes right now.
Okay. What's the sizes?
6. So my first grade class, I had about 6 students, maybe 7 at the most. Mhm.
Nice. And how long?
35 to 40 minutes, so not too
Okay.
long. Mhm.
Okay. And so do you pick like, are you doing just one lesson within that time? Are you picking a subject to focus on? Like, how does that work for you?
So I do Monday through Thursday classes. For example, Monday is reading, Tuesday writing, Wednesday math, Thursday I'll alternate different weeks between science and social studies. And so we're doing one subject for that 40-minute class on that day. And then the next day they'll come back for the next subject and the next subject and the next subject, just 4 days in the week.
Okay. And how long? Like, are these like 6 week classes or is this just 1 week or how does this?
So my classes run the entire year.
Okay.
For the first grade full homeschool curriculum, that's an entire school year. And then the summer camp is about 8 weeks. The summer camp I have right now is self-paced, but that is a 4 week session for the first part one, and then another 4 week session for part two.
Nice. So how are these classes looking? Because I can't imagine these little 5-year-olds, 5, 6-year-olds sitting at this computer and being attentive. So how did like tell me about a day? Like walk us through a session with you.
Okay, so a session, we log in, I greet, welcome, good morning, good afternoon, and then we go through our welcome work. So if we're still waiting for everyone to join the class, or we're early, we'll do our welcome work, and then once everyone's there or it's time to start, then we'll go into our schedule for the day. So we usually start with a warm up, then we'll go over our lesson, we'll do Kahoot, and then we'll complete our worksheet. And then at that point too, we go over our objectives. So I have students recite their I can statements. For example, I can find nouns and verbs, right? And then I'll have them repeat that so they know what we're learning for that session. We go into our warm up. Our warm up, I usually have like a movement that's related to the lesson. So maybe we'll watch a Jack Hartman 3-minute video where we're moving and we're singing our nouns, a person, place, or thing. And then, so we have a little practice there. Then we start our lesson. In our lesson, there are opportunities to interact with the screen, to interact with the lesson. Sometimes I'll have them write and give answers. For example, they could write an example of a noun on the screen or draw an example of a noun on the screen. So I try to make it interactive in that way. Sometimes we'll do some click and drag. It depends. And then after the lesson, we'll go into Kahoot, which gives them that practice and it feels like a game. So we'll do a Kahoot where they're working on nouns and verbs, for example. Maybe they're finding a noun in a sentence, or they're telling me if this picture is showing a noun or if it's showing an action, if it's showing a verb like swim, something like that. Once we're done with that, then we'll go over our worksheet. So that Kahoot is it's like an informal assessment that allows them to practice what they've
Yeah.
learned in a fun way. And then we'll do our worksheet and we'll go over it together as a class. I'll call on different students to help answer different parts. And after a while, I understand every student's ability level, if a student can read a full sentence, or if they're just really on words right now. So I'll have them help out with the worksheet in different ways based on their ability level. And that is our lesson. We'll go over the worksheet together and I see them the next day.
Nice. That is beautiful. I know so many parents are always looking for some kind of foundation, especially at that age. Like they're like I see the questions all the time. They're looking for curriculum for them kids and like these little babies. But I love that because you are helping them to create like a what is it? Not well, I mean a schedule essentially, but
It's
consistency.
Mhm. Thank you. Yep. It's supplemental learning. It can be supplemental. I do also offer assessments. So it could really be the full first grade experience, and parents are doing one or two things here and there,
Mm.
but they're not having to do so much. It takes a lot of planning and like the stress of finding curriculum because I give all the worksheets. I make all the worksheets and provide that to parents for each subject for each day. So my goal is to alleviate like the stress and the curriculum searching and all the different things that come along with homeschooling, just to kind of take that off of parents and really have them just focus on spending time with their learners and helping out here and there in terms of maybe if a student is needing a little extra help on a topic.
Nice. And I like the fact that you're only doing it for 45 minutes.
Mm.
Suppose you ain't holding them hostage for like 3, 4, 5 hours. So that is nice. I'm sure they're very attentive during that 45, and I'm sure that 45 goes by rather fast too.
It does. It goes by quickly. They are attentive. It's a short time period. So that's really nice.
Yes. So why the babies? Why did you pick that age group?
I just really like, I just,
Little angel
because,
you. Look, you little angel you.
oh, thank you. Because I wanted to become a teacher when I was in first grade, I think that has it does have a big reason for why I work, especially with first grade. Like I taught first grade at a private school, and then I moved to teaching both the private and teaching out school first grade until I moved to teaching out school. Um, on out school. So I think it's just because I wanted to be a teacher when I was in first grade. And so I just chose first grade. And I love that young period. I always say like the first 5 years of a child's life are the most important. Not to say that the other years following it are not, but that's really when the foundation is set.
Yeah.
The expectations are set and they're really coming and understanding that the reading, literacy, all of those things. So we could even say for literacy, I would say maybe like the first 7 years. So like first grade is really foundational in terms of helping students build their reading skills, developing as readers. That's why also I like the younger ages because you're helping them develop those foundational skills that they'll build on for the rest of their life.
Yes. Yes, they will. I was gonna say, how big was the impact your first grade teacher had on you?
Miss Clary, Miss Bradley,
Oh,
Miss Gary. Oh my goodness.
oh,
Um,
oh,
I remember
yes.
them. I had different teachers because we I moved into the country in first grade, but I already spoke English. I'm Nigerian American. English is part of the that's just how the education system is set. It's set in British English, but it's English.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was already fine there, but accent and things like that. so,
Mm-hmm.
so I had some like ESL teachers just to support because I'm new. I was done with ESL by third grade though, but I had three teachers and I just love them. Like
Yeah.
I've always loved my teachers, but they were great. They were really, really supportive. So
Yes. No, I just know because I my declaration for wanting to be a teacher came in 5th grade. So my fifth grade teacher was the one that set the course for me, Miss Crawford. Shout out. And it's like those teachers really matter. And that's why I want people to always understand, like when I talk about homeschooling, please know that I'm not talking and trying to take away from the teachers that are very passionate about what they do, because we have some very passionate educators in the school system that are there because that is their heart, that is their desire, that's what they wanted to do since first grade. So
Yeah.
understand that they definitely make the difference. But Miss Crawford, honey, I love me some Miss Crawford. She was really amazing. Just her care and her respect for me in general. It's just like, oh my gosh, this little lady sees me and hears me, and I love that. And I wanted to do that for others. So that's why I was like, oh, okay, you're a first grade